Hello, guys. Welcome to a new episode of Ecom Lab, a podcast by Ecomcy. My name is Vincenzo Toscano. I'm the CEO of Ecomcy. And today we have a special guest. His name is Omar. He's the CEO of Margin Business, which is also an
Hi.
agency like us. Today, actually, we're going to be discussing a very interesting topic. We're going to be talking about listing optimization and how to help the localization of Amazon US businesses to make the jump to Europe, and we're gonna be discussing like the pros and cons. But now, without any further delay, let me introduce you, Mar. How you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me today. Yeah,
It's a
it's
pleasure. It's a pleasure.
brilliant.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I know you have great experience and knowledge around helping
Thank you.
businesses to do the expansion around Europe, because I know your agency helps a lot with everything that has to do with the listing optimization in different languages and how to help with setting up the account in these other marketplaces. So I think it's going to be great to hear some of the tips and everything that your agency does. But before we jump into that, I think it would be very nice to hear just a bit about you, your background, how you jump into Amazon, about a little bit about the business, and then of course we can jump into the topic. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, so yeah, my name is Omar A. I'm the CEO of marginbusiness.com. And yeah, let's jump right into it. My background is, I think, quite unusual. I mean, it's always has been related to the internet, to the new market, to everything. When we go back 10 years, actually have been a graphic designer, or even more. This is more than 10 years.
That's great.
This is like 20 years. Okay. So
Good.
I learned graphic design, and along the way, I have been an account manager for financial services in the gaming sector.
That's great.
Um, and afterwards I kind of wanted to be like everyone, who want to be a full entrepreneur. He wanted to be without going to work every day and seeing the necessity of actually changing something in the world, and
Mm.
not just to contribute to a company where then the owner is taking out the funds to do whatever with it. Actually, I didn't see the impact, and I wanted to do an impact in this world. So I said, okay, I need to work on my own in order to do that. So yeah, then we came actually into the sector of Amazon. We
Hmm.
beginning to translate. It was 10 years ago. We were translating, me and the co-founder, Emily. We were translating. She's French, I'm German, so we were translating our native languages. And back then, it was nothing special. It was
Yeah.
just translating. But
Yeah.
then we found out that it's actually there is something which we can do there. Because
Mm.
with our translation, this special customers we have, and we had, and we still have right now, he really increased his sales. And we
Yeah.
say, wow, there is something. It's not just like we do some work
Google.
for 12
Yeah.
for 12 hours crazy. No, there is something we can change actually. So we came back again into our thoughts that we need to change something actually, and went on and on and on, and tried things, and found out that there is a localization. But first was the keywords. Actually, the
Yeah.
keywords changed a lot as well.
Yeah.
So back then, when there was no Helium 10 or anything, we had to go there into ourselves, Excel sheets, everything,
Mm.
you know, check which one are the best keywords in this
Yeah.
category. I mean, it was a lot easier back then because there were a lot less sellers and a lot
Yeah.
less professional sellers as well. So there was
Yeah.
a big advantage if you understood the system, that you really
Yes.
could push it. So along the way, there came other clients, and we built it up, and it went really big. Let's say not wow big, but a small company was
Yeah.
created out of this, and we helped a few people along the way. A few companies have grown, and they stayed with us as well. So we are now small agency of 20 with 20 employees, and we are fighting our way through the jungle of Amazon, trying
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
trying to keep updated, because you cannot say, yeah, I know everything. No, you don't know
Yeah.
everything.
Every day
It's
change
like
everything.
it's like
Yeah.
when I wake up in the morning, it's like, what happened now? What is this?
Yeah.
What did
New
they
policy.
implement again? New policy, exactly. So there's always something to do, especially
Yeah.
with the localization and the listing process,
Yeah.
how they see it. I mean, it's completely crazy. But still, I think for our company, we're still very, very stable in terms of policies of Amazon. At the moment, we were not hit too much. There were not too many changes. I mean, a big change that we all know is that you can now upload your photos for each and every
Yes.
country.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the big changes that we have. If you look at PPC, or if you look out at traffic, at reviews, then if you cannot even follow up on all the policies that they
Yeah.
are bringing out. So it's a very, very
Crazy. Yeah.
thin ice you're walking on. So I think this is what we have here, and it's really something we're looking to expand as well in the future and continue as well in the future, because we are from the European Union. We know
That's great.
what the different customers need, and you especially yourself, that mainland Spanish is not the same as South American Spanish, although it's the same language, but there's a different culture. There's it's not too big, but still there is something. There's different differences between talking to a South American customer and European customer. So this is what we do, and this is what we try to perfect every day. We're not perfect. We learn every day, and we're trying to understand the business, same as you do, same as other business providers do.
That's very good. I think what you guys do is great, because I know a lot of people, what they do when trying to jump into a marketplace of different language, the only thing they might do is like Google Translation or something like that, which is very bad for your products. And I think offering a service like you, which is, I agree with you, it's not just about the language. I think it's also about understanding the culture, about understanding the traditions of that marketplace, because sometimes even if you use the same English, for example, of a listing in UK, it's not going to work the same in USA, because even if the English is similar, there are some keywords like slam keywords that might make a big difference. So I think that's very good to understand and to, of course, implement in each single listing. But actually, I have one question now relating to this topic, which is, based on all the experience that you have working with all these businesses, helping them jump from USA to Europe, what do you think is nowadays the main concern or the main obstacles that they are afraid to jump, and that you, of course, help them overcome that and jump into Europe when doing the transition?
I think the first one is actually VAT.
Yes.
VAT, because since Brexit is out, we or the American sellers don't have this possibility anymore to jump in the UK, where it's the easiest for them, and then spread from there. So it's much more complex. They now have to either send directly the goods into Germany, because Germany is the best place actually to start with, or they just sell in the UK. So I think the first thing is like the hurdles of the legal stuff they need to fight through, which is really, I can confirm, it's really not hard.
A lot of bureaucracy.
You just have to have the right company, like, for example, HelloTax, who is helping you to do that. It's just give it to them.
They do everything.
Exactly. You are a company owner. You don't have to deal with all of this. It's just the same as hiring a company like Ecomcy, hiring a company like Margin Business. You don't have to do all that stuff. That's why we are here. And if you're not able to pay this yet, then maybe you need to think about either funding or wait it out a little bit, and don't waste your money just by doing everything yourself, and especially your time. So the second point is definitely localization. Because what many people get wrong is they think they translate the listing from English and then it's all good into the main language from a native speaker, and then we have a listing. That's good. No, is the translator actually a content writer? Has the translator knowledge of Amazon? Has he knowledge of marketing? Does he know all these things? Is he a keyword
researcher?
Exactly. I don't like the word specialist. Okay, let's just say he knows what he's doing. There's a few tools out there how he can do it. So there are so many facts you have to consider. But I think this is the main hurdle where I think when the Americans come and want to sell in the European Union, they do. Because I spoke with so many that say, I did it already. They're already spread over Europe and they are Google translated, but we don't sell that much. Yes, for sure you don't sell that much. That's and even though some even tell me they make a lot of money already. So I told them,
Yeah.
listen, do you
Imagine
know
if you do it right.
exactly you can do 5 times more, it's like,
Yeah.
just some crazy numbers which nobody have thought, and we have seen this with Chinese sellers.
Yeah, for
We have seen
sure.
this. They
Yeah.
made millions on the European marketplaces, and now they understand that the listing needs to be optimized and localized, and even the photos optimized and localized. You
Yeah.
know, and now they even said they're getting stronger and stronger by the day, and they understood this now. So they're at some point it's really hard to compete with them. And when we have the strong American companies coming through, then we have actually somebody who can compete with all the foreign sellers that we have at the moment.
That's great. Yeah, yeah. I think I just agree with you. I mean, so many people jump into Europe and they're just using, as you said, the Google Translation or Amazon. They're doing just fine. We have seen that in our clients, and as soon as we do the localization, I mean, the difference is
Exactly.
huge. It's huge, 100%. Now, another question I also have regarding these people that is looking to jump into Europe. Based on
Mhm.
your extensive experience about around doing this, do you recommend jumping into all European countries at the same time when doing this jump, or do you have usually a process in mind that you advise your clients, like start just with Germany and then expand? What do you usually recommend to your clients to do when doing this transition?
Okay, what we usually say is, first of all, we're gonna ask them to give us their bestseller product.
Okay.
So we're looking at the product, okay, and then we're gonna check. Obviously, let's keep UK apart. It's a good
Yeah.
jumping board. Was a good jumping board, but now it's not anymore. But it's a
Yeah.
very good marketplace, and there's very strong. You can sell a lot there. But
Yes.
let's take it from mainland Europe now, which is the major 7 EU countries from Amazon.
Yeah.
I would always start with Germany.
Okay.
Um, if the product is good for the European Union, or if we think that is good. So we would go back to the client and say, listen, this product has a potential in the European Union, or this product is a risk for the European Union. If you're still going
Yes.
to do it, go ahead, do it.
Hmm.
But we would say, like, there is a risk, don't do it, or you can do it.
Okay.
Because what we don't want, the last thing that we want is the customers losing money. We don't want that.
Yeah.
We want them to
Yes.
make money.
Yes, of
because
course. Yeah.
because we want to help. It's not just about the cash. Obviously, a business need to grow and need to thrive. But in the first place, it's really to help. In order, that's why we as well do all these videos, because we
Yeah.
want to help with the knowledge. Want to increase their confidence, and understand exactly which steps they have to take. Because there is a few steps to take, and they have to understand where they put their feet into. So Germany, first one. Why Germany? Because it's the easiest. They have the easiest distribution system out of the into the European Union, and it's the
Yes.
biggest. It's the largest marketplace in the European Union.
Yes.
Then is France, then is Spain, and then is Italy. As far
Yeah.
as if I didn't forget
Yeah, I
about the
think it's
numbers,
like that. I
but
mean,
it's
it keeps changing,
Spain,
but
Italy.
it's
Yeah, it keeps
yeah.
changing. Yes, but this is
Yeah.
like the main. And then we have as well. We have the Netherlands, we have
Yeah.
Sweden, and we have Poland now. These are marketplaces we recommend to do, because then you are one of the first ones. But if you're on
Yes.
a budget, I always recommend only to do the 4, and later on to make it slowly for the other ones. But if you can afford it, go all in for the European
Yeah.
Union, because there is where the money is at the moment. You have about the same size of customers potential in the European Union as in the US, and the market
Yeah.
is a lot less competitive. So ship your goods into Germany. Try to figure out, either you send directly from China, wherever your manufacturing site is, ship it into a port into the northern part of Germany.
Yeah.
Get somebody, clear it, put it into a warehouse, ship it little by little into the Amazon facilities, and let's go. You can do it. It's a very, very easy, straightforward process. It's kind of the small US, but every single state has different, not laws. Like in the US, you have the different states, but you can sell everywhere without any issue. You don't have to do a tax number. So just
Yeah.
imagine Europe. Europe is a small state where you when you go cross border, you have to comply with all the legal requirements with VAT, and
Yes.
as well maybe as well with product packaging advices. Supplements are not accepted in some countries, some yes. So
Yes.
there is a few regulations, but anyway, to keep
Yeah.
it to keep it very very straightforward, Germany is the place to start everything.
That's great. That's great. Good, good. That's good to know. Yeah, I think the same for us. We receive a lot of inquiries. People, the number one question besides all the VAT and complications is always which marketplace to start. And I totally agree with you. Which the best bet is to start with the biggest one, in this case Germany, and then use that as a ramification to expand. Like people used to do with UK. Now I think now Germany became the UK to do that
Yes,
bridge jump
exactly.
from USA to Europe, which is great. Now, when you advise this company to jump, for example, from USA to Europe, do you usually recommend this for companies that have already reached like their peak in USA, like in terms of they already have done everything that they can in PPC in USA, they have done all the optimization, they are already like, let's say 80-85% there of whatever they can reach in USA? Or do you also advise these two brands that maybe are not yet there in full potential in USA and do this jump? um, the reason why I ask you this is because, I mean, of course, it's important to do the jump to Europe to start expanding your brand, but sometimes I have seen people doing the jump too early, and
Yes.
then what happens is that you start diversifying your budget for PPC and resources too thin, and then none of the marketplaces end up working very well, right? So, do you have like a revenue that you usually recommend people to hit in USA before making the jump, or it's really dependent on the product and budget that they have behind the brand when doing this transition from USA to Europe?
Okay. I think that it's very important, first of all, to know which product, um, and then as well the budget,
Yeah.
because we know US is a great place in order to boost your sales.
Yes.
So I I would recommend, right now, because we are in a very very professional environment. Everything gets
Mm,
more professional. Everything
mm.
gets more tense. Companies coming in, they have a lot of money on spending a lot of money on advertising.
Aggregators.
Exactly, the aggregators, they spend a lot. They have a illimited budget on
Yeah.
advertising. We have companies from China which have an illimited budget on advertising,
Yeah.
and which are directly at the source. That means that they have the manufacturer, and they can directly ship in, so they have no intermediate. They can just
They
crash the
control
prices.
everything. Yeah.
Exactly. So these 2 points I would consider. So if you are like a private seller, you have a small private label. I would consider as a 500,000 or turnaround in 1 year.
Yeah.
I would maybe not go yet into the European Union,
Okay.
because you will have different budget issues afterwards, because you have to consider the listing
Yeah.
optimization, the whole process of localization of the listing, the new
Mm.
photos maybe.
Yeah.
VAT needs to be paid
Mm.
up front.
Yeah.
There is setting even up an entity if you want that,
Mm-hmm.
or there is so many different things which you have to put into consideration. So
Mm.
I would say, if you're under that level, try to boost your sales within the US. If we talk about a company who make 10 million, for example, revenue in the US, and they are not in the European Union, definitely they need to look
Yeah.
into
They
it.
need to do.
They need to.
Yeah.
Then there's something missing out. Not only the European Union, we have now the United Arab
Mm.
Emirates. We have the new
Yeah.
marketplace, Egypt, which
Yeah.
has only Cairo is 9 million people, or
Huge. Yeah. It's
even
big.
more. So it's there is a huge market which is waiting for you outside. And once you're there, you can as well go to Japan.
Yeah.
Just put into consideration, you need to really have knowledge of the market, that
Mm.
somebody localize your listings and
Yeah.
understands what these customers like, and how their behavior is towards goods, and as well towards how you speak with them through the listing. Because now in our world, we don't pick up the phone anymore. We really write. When you write an email, you have
Yeah.
almost to be a copywriter right now,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
everything
Perfect.
is expressed through writing right now. So who is now a good copywriter has a
It's a
very
must.
good, yes, and has a very good hand as well, has something very very good in their hand. So like I said, if you have a good product, if you have a high budget, go and try to make as much as possible as well in the other countries, but make sure that you hit your maximum already in the US.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't, the US has a lot as well to give, and can even increase your sales by crazy amounts, of numbers. We know there's 7, 8, 9-figure sellers in the US,
Yeah.
and obviously not every brand can reach that, but
Yes, of course. Yeah.
if you have a stable company and you have a stable income, let's say 500,000 upwards, between 500,000 and 1 million, and you have a
Yeah.
good margin and you can afford going to the European Union, I definitely recommend in order to double your sales up, and I would even say double your sales up within the next following 12 to 24 months.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think besides all that you mentioned, another thing to also consider is making sure that your home marketplace, it can be Europe and the other way around, jumping to USA, is fully optimized, because I see that mistake so many times. They start selling in one marketplace, and within 1 month, okay, let's jump worldwide, and then that ends up being a catastrophe, because I think when you spread your budget so thin with these huge competitors, that's a big, I think that's a big mistake, because then you cannot compete on advertisement, you cannot compete in price, and then you end up having like 5, 6 marketplaces that are dead, right? So yeah, that's a good advice for sure. Now, another question I also have when doing this jump, um, when you offer this service of helping doing the transition, it can be to Europe or let's say other marketplaces. Um, do you also help doing like a market analysis to understand if this is a right fit for your product? Because I understand that some marketplaces, based on culture and traditions, even if you do the best optimization in terms of listing and images and everything, for certain barriers based on the culture and the behaviors of that community, it might not work, right? So do you think that's also very important to do? I mean, doing a market research before jumping into a marketplace, or you still jump into the marketplace and test it before making a decision if it works or not?
No. What we do, like, when somebody comes to us and asks us, can we want to sell in the European Union, for example, we have to do a research.
Okay.
Means that there is tools out there like ZonGuru,
Yeah.
like Helium 10, who can
Yeah.
help you with that. So we use these tools in order to understand if this market is good for the product. We don't do it in all marketplaces. Obviously, if there's a request to do for all marketplaces, we do that. But normally
Yeah.
we take the main marketplace, which is Germany. We check the product on there. If there is any possibility, if this product can go far, do a quick as well research on Google how it helps. So we do a marketing analysis in order to understand and in order to tell the client if this is useful for him, if he jumps into this market with his product. And if it's not the case, we would advise him that there might be an issue. But if he still wants, we will not say no, we don't do it. But we will try our best in order to promote it correctly and to write correctly and to promote it as well to the right audience through the keywords. Because when you're in the local marketplace and you have the good keywords, which, for example, foreign sellers don't know, we can underline it.
Yes.
We have a special how is it called? A special layer.
Okay.
Layer.
Yeah.
Three layers.
A process, basically. Yeah.
Exactly. A process. Sorry. And this is how we do it. I mean, first, second, and then third. And these keywords actually come up and might not come up for other sellers, or they might not recognize them. So we put them in, and this is how we can understand if there is a real possibility in order to sell this product or not.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. I think it's good that, I mean, that you explain this to the audience, because as we've been discussing, it's not just about translation. The fact that you guys go very deep and also go into the data and understand the localization for product, I think that's the main thing when doing a jump into a new marketplace. It's not just about translation. It's about understanding your customer avatar and optimizing the listing around that. For
Exactly,
sure.
exactly.
Good. So I have one final question before we wrap up today's episode, and I think that final question would be more around what kind of tip or advice would you recommend to a person when doing this localization or doing the jump to marketplace in terms of optimizing their listings? So what is the number one thing that you see people missing that you think is very important when people doing the optimization of their listing in terms of keywords and writing the listing?
Okay, globally, the message that I want to give is don't hire just somebody on demand.
Yeah.
Like to hire somebody on, let's say, Upwork. I don't say that people on Upwork are not good,
Yeah,
or
they're
on
good.
Fiverr are
Yeah.
not good. They are professionals. They know what they
Yeah.
do. But the problem is they are not in the team. So
Yeah.
it's everyone needs an adaptation time, and that time
Mm.
on these marketplaces you don't have.
Yeah.
And for example, we don't hire on demand. We have these people with us. So if we get a project, we sit down with them, we make them. Everyone needs to understand what this project is,
Yeah.
and they know already about Amazon. So it's
Mhm.
much easier for a company like ours to jump in a project like this than if you hire somebody who does translation. That's why it's
Yeah.
as well the main word. It's not that I don't like it, but I love to say localization.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you localize your listing.
Yes.
Translation, anyone can do it. If you're a good
Yeah.
translator, you can translate it.
Yeah.
But you're not
Software tools out there as well that does it.
exactly.
Yeah.
But you're not a localization person or somebody who knows what it's about. Have you been traveling a lot? Have
Yeah.
you been seeing the world through different eyes? Have you lived in different countries? All of this is a need that you need to understand all of these aspects in order to understand a culture, maybe even to speak their language. Obviously,
Yeah.
I don't speak all the languages in the world. I speak a few
Yeah.
languages,
Yeah.
but I cannot, for example, go speak French and Spanish, but I will not be able to do the same work as a French and Spanish native speaker.
Of
So
course.
that's
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. And but I understand the cultural differences, and this is how I can as well bring across anybody who is working with me on a project to make them understand. Listen, this is your country. You need to know this, this, and yeah, make it good for them, make it good for the customers, for the customer avatar. And when
Yeah.
they're working a long time with us, they all know all of this. So this is my main advice. Go to somebody professional. Don't try to do everything on your own, click buttons and hire people. We will spend more
More.
time
Yeah. In the long term as
to
well. Yeah.
organizing
Yeah.
everyone, who is not even in your team, because most of the freelancers don't want to be part of a team. They want to
Yeah.
work on their own. That's why they're freelancers.
Yeah.
So for future projects, for example, they might be working on other projects and then other projects. And
Yeah.
with companies like ours, or there is other companies out there, yours as well, Ecomcy, you have the people who are in the team, who understand each
It's
other.
like buying a team that comes to your company. Yeah.
Exactly. And this is
Yeah.
this is what the aggregators are doing as well right now.
Yeah.
Or they might as well need to do more, because they do a little bit of 50-50 at the moment. They
Yeah.
hire, for example, somebody for 100,000 per year, like
Yeah.
an executive from Amazon,
Yeah.
but it's only one person,
Yeah.
instead of hiring a whole team, which they can bring in and they understand what they do, because the one person they hire for 100K, for example, he needs as well to hire another team. That means
Yeah.
there is more time. It's all a headache. Why
Yeah.
don't it's like we do. My vision, or what I do all the time, is I do one thing good.
Yeah.
One thing. My team does one thing good.
Yeah.
The rest, I'm calling up Vincenzo. Vincenzo, please help. The
Yeah.
rest, I'm calling up another partner of mine, Hello Text.
Yeah.
Please do
That's
this.
the best way. That's the best way. Yeah.
And then the other ones is the one who's bringing traffic to the Amazon listings. It's not that I cannot do it. I don't want to learn it.
Yeah.
And
we
I don't
don't
want my
specialize
team
on
to.
that.
Exactly. So we work all together, and this is how it should be, because
And we
you
are
have
all happy.
specialists.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very short.
That's great. Omar, once again, I appreciate all the knowledge you brought today. I mean, you have so much experience on this. So I think
Thank you.
for sure I'm going to have you back to discuss this topic in more depth. But yeah, I appreciate it. And now, before we close today's episode, I want you to, of course, mention to the audience where people can find you, how they can get in contact with your team to help with all this service of localization and translations, so people can get a grab of you. Yeah.
Okay, so you can find us normally on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is a place we're very active. So marginbusiness.com, or
Mm-hmm.
just under my profile, you will find everything when you type in marginbusiness.com. As well, the website, like I said already before,
Yeah.
marginbusiness.com. And if you want to talk with me directly, it's Omar at marginbusiness.com as well. This
Great.
is, and we can help you with everything what you need for localization, optimization. Everything is included, keyword research, everything. What is actually the listing, from pictures to A plus to text in different
Oh,
languages, even for the United Arab Emirates or for Saudi Arabia.
that's great. What else
Just
do
get
you
in
need?
contact.
Everything in one
Exactly.
place. That's great. Thank you once again, Omar. We definitely gonna keep in touch and eventually do another episode. But yeah, I appreciate all the knowledge, and I'm sure people is gonna find it very helpful. Thank you very much. Okay, so
Thank
we
you
keep
so
in
much,
touch.
Vincenzo. Keep in
Take
touch.
care.
Thanks.
Bye
Take care.
bye.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.